So what's up, guys? This is Piyush Patel, an author of the book called Superhero Next Door, and a fellow human being who always love to inspire and help people to go one level up in their life. So this is one more episode of my book review, and today I have a very special guest. He is my friend, and he's from Delhi NCR. So his name is Tauseef. So first of all, Tauseef, thanks a lot for joining and thanks a lot for giving your precious time.
It's a pleasure, Piyush. Thanks for having me here.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So, Tausif, today we are going to talk about my book, which you have already read, and we are going to have some, small question answers. So, the very first question I would like to ask is, how much time it took you to complete the book?
I think I have already written a post around this, and it has got a lot of traction as well. So I still remember the first book that I read. It was "Attitude is Everything," and it is when I remember having a discussion with you in October 2018, when I was like starting my journey on LinkedIn and placing myself as an social media guy kind of a thing. So I mean, you recommended certain books, so I read that book and I loved it. It transformed the way I used to think. I mean, it actually transformed the way I used to speak to myself, like those auto suggestions and those hetero suggestions, and how do you communicate in daily life. So lots of transformation happened. Ever since that, I have started loving and reading books, and I have taken like some usual amount of times, like sometime a month, sometime 1.5 months, sometime even more than that, because that was a time when I was developing the reading habit. And
Right,
but this book, obviously, it was much hyped, and it was we were talking about this for like 1.5 years, much coveted and much awaited. And I was like, as soon as it will come to the market, I will buy this book. So fortunately, I bought this book, and I would like to show this to all the viewers. And this is
thank
in
you.
my hand. And one good thing about this book is that when I started reading it, I thought that obviously I have to finish this book, because obviously I would like to contribute and I would like to share the learnings with everyone on social media, and probably the thought process that you have shared here. But when I started reading this book, I realized that I started loving every words and chapters, because when I finished one chapters, it made me like, you know it made me think that I need to go to the next chapter, and as I felt as if I am interacting with you.
Okay,
I'm interacting with the author. And one more reason behind why I fell in love with this book is because somewhere down the line I also have the values that you live by. you know
okay,
that's the superpowers that you have mentioned, right from empathy, compassion, kindness, and passion, mission, vision, all those superpowers that you have mentioned in the chapter number 9. I mean, I was able to relate to them, because those are the values which I have actually been taught from my parents. I mean, it really doesn't matter who you are, how rich you are, how rich you become in the future, but there are certain values that you need to live by always, because
right,
these are the values that you will always be remembered for, whether you are in this world or you are not in this world. So
correct.
I was able to relate to that chapter. And that was the reason, to answer to your question, to be precise, I was able to finish this book within 3 days, and I just took 6 hours. And
Wow,
this was, I mean, it is not that this book is like very small. This book has some good chapters and some good content, and which is enough for somebody to take like a week or so. But just because of the fact that I was so much interested and I was so intrigued that
right,
I could not stop myself but to finish it in a go, like understand what next, and then finish the book. So
right,
I think one message that I would like to give to all my viewers is that the reason why should they buy it, and why they should read it, is because we all have certain superpowers within us.
Okay.
We all have, those qualities, those tremendous power within us. And the only thing that we need to do is unearth those qualities. We need to
Right.
uncover those, superpowers, superhero qualities. But if you're someone who are not able to identify, analyze those superpowers within you, this book, I can bet you, can make you realize that yes, these were the superpower, you have them, but you were searching for long, you were not getting the meaning of them. So probably this book can give the meaning of those superpowers. So I
Great.
really loved it.
Great. Great. Thanks a lot. In fact, you have already given a lot of answers of my further questions. So, next question I would like to ask you is so I have talked about 18 different types of superpowers. So, can you tell us
Right.
something that which is the number one superpower, or which is that one superpower with which you resonate in your life, and why?
And I think without a doubt, it is empathy. You know, while I was reading it, so obviously there are 18 superpowers, and all are equally important. But the number one superpower that I could resonate with was empathy, because I have been a people manager for like 10 years and I have been
Okay.
handling people. And the
Right.
reason why I have found this embedded in myself is because you, as a leader, you need to have empathy. And if you don't have an empathy, you cannot survive in any walk of life, be it you're working in any organization with you're having a relationship with your customers,
Correct.
or with your colleagues, with your team members, or with your family members even.
Correct.
Empathies are one superpower which makes you a real human being. It
Correct.
separates the leader from managers. it
Correct.
it actually it it actually put you into a different league altogether. The reason
Right.
why I'm saying this is because obviously you will find a lot of people in your life, like be in your family, be it in your corporate life, or maybe you're an entrepreneur, you're having your own team, who will need, someday or other they will need your empathy, they will
Correct.
need your support.
Correct.
And empathy is nothing but you are able to put yourself into somebody else's shoes and then think from their point of view, not from your point of view. So
Absolutely.
I think this is something which I could relate, and the way you have explained it is making it, making much easier for someone to understand what empathy is with a good example. So this was one thing which I resonate
Absolutely.
actually.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks a lot for sharing such amazing insights. So next thing I would like to know is, it is something
Pleasure.
different kind of question. So do you like to watch superhero movies, by the
Okay.
way? Are you a
Honestly, I think I have
superhero
shared
fan?
this. I have shared this with you multiple times. So I am
Okay.
not a big fan of movies.
Okay.
I have never watched so many movies just because of one fact, is because the way life has treated me since my childhood is because I have always been in a very pressure kind of a situation.
Okay.
The time I have seen in my life, in my childhood, is that I always had that anger that I need to become something. So since my childhood, I used to invest most of my time into studies. So I was very good academically, honestly. I
Okay.
used to secure good marks. I used to take part in all competitions, and I used to become, I used to always come first. I never accepted defeat, honestly. And I
Okay.
think it became my weakness. Sometime I realized it, and that's the reason I am living more consciously. But to be precise, I would say that I have never been a big fan of movies. But
Okay.
yes, you know, the time in the past, whenever I have watched movies, the little that I have the time that I have spent, I have always been intrigued, and I have always been amazed by the action movies.
Okay.
Because whenever I used to see like a hero uh, beating or killing the villain, I used to feel like good. And as you have also rightly mentioned in this book, that a hero's job is to basically rescue people from trouble, rescue people from
Right.
you know uh, getting into problems. And
Correct.
at the end, hero is the one who wins, because villains dominate and overpower the actor and the hero all the
Right.
time, but at the end it is the hero which wins. So
Correct.
obviously that hero who is in action, he exhibits patience, he exhibit empathy, he
Right.
exhibit almost all the superpowers that you have mentioned in this book.
Correct.
And at the end of the day, at the end of the movie, it is the hero, he wins only because he has that leadership quality, he has those leadership quality, he has
Correct.
those vision, he has those compassion for people, empathy for people, and that's the reason he's lovable by all. So honestly speaking, I have never watched so many movies, but yes, the many time I've watched, I have always been intrigued and amazed by these action movies, and
Right.
this is what we talked about in this book as well.
Right. Right. So the reason why I asked you this question is still you are not a very big, huge superhero fan like me, but still you got intrigued by the title superhero next door. So can you
Absolutely.
tell something about that? Though you are not a superhero fan, but still you got intrigued by this book or the title, if I say specifically. So is there any specific reason which you
Certainly.
like to talk?
Certainly. And Piyush, to answer to your questions, I think it is not that I am not a superhero fan. I am not a superhero fan in the movies, actually. But absolutely, I mean, movies, superheroes, obviously, they give you vision, they give you some lessons of life. I am a superhero fan. I mean, I am a fan of Mahatma Gandhi. I am a fan of Nelson Mandela. I am a fan of, lot many other superheroes who have actually lived as a
Right,
superhero. And I am their fan, but obviously as my attachment to movies has not been that much. I have never invested that much of time. That is the reason in movies, I mean, personally I have not been very much inclined towards, but I am a superhero fan. But the reason this book and this title has actually you know captivated my heart is because it has, I mean, the title itself tells that this book, if you read, there is a possibility and there is a probability that you can live that life that a superhero has lived. And I'm sure there is everyone in this world who has their own heroes in their life,
right,
who has their own role models, and
correct,
they try to imbibe and imbue their qualities in their own life. So
correct,
I mean, and this title superhero next door is very peculiar in its own way, because you know first of all, most of the fraternity and the people who are enchanted by superhero movies, they will definitely try to buy this and to understand what this book is all about.
right,
But I would say that the reason why I have bought this book is because, first of all, I knew about what the content is going to be, what you are going to deliver, because I know you from a long time, and I know your background a little bit, and I know the kind of knowledge that you have, the thought process that you have. It was going to be awesome. And but the expectation that I had, I think when I read this book, it went beyond the expectation, because I never knew about the personal struggles that you had. And I think your own journey is nothing less than a superhero. So who can
thank
I
you,
talk about more than you?
thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So the last question I would like to ask is so you have already got the perspective that and you are already into the path of becoming a superhero. So for me, superhero is someone like you who want to impact the world and create a difference in people's lives. So you are already on that path. So
Thank you.
please tell us something about that. How you want to change this world, or how you envision this world, and as a superhero, how you want to help people. Please talk about something.
Definitely. So I would talk in reference to this book only, though I have many perspective. But if I go just by this book, reading it, there is one chapter called like Planet Earth, how we have basically how this planet was formed and how human being has evolved over the years. And I think this is something that you talk about very frequently, that there is the difference between human being and animals. And the
Correct.
only difference is that we human being have an ability to evolve that animals doesn't have.
Correct.
And similarly, human beings have choices in their life which animals doesn't have. Their job is like, live and survive and go from this world. But as a human being, we have choices in our life,
Correct.
and it is up to you whether you make good choices or bad choices. The kind of
Right.
choices that you make, the kind of person you will become in the future.
Correct.
So I think if I derive something from this book, the inspiration that I get from this book is that if you have come to this world, you have to have a purpose, and there is a purpose for everyone, provided you are able to understand and identify that purpose in your life. That
Correct.
purpose can be anything. The way you want to make a difference is basically your choice, what you're passionate about, and what you want to do to make and create a difference in this world. The way, like, if you talk about Mahatma Gandhi, he had a purpose of freedom that you have mentioned in this book, and he
Correct.
was so passionate about this fact that he got the freedom for us, and he fought
Absolutely.
many, many debates. He fought many kind of personal struggles, personal fights. He was thrown from the train. So obviously he was passionate about, in spite of so many hurdles and struggles and 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 issues, he did not leave his passion, and
Correct.
he acquired his purpose. And I think he would have been the most satisfied man on his deathbed. And if you talk about personally me, obviously I get always inspired by these kind of things, with these kind of people. So as I started, so I mean, you cannot become a hero or superhero overnight, and this is something
Absolutely.
which is again mentioned in this book. You need to give time to yourself. You need to be patient. And I mean, if you're expecting that you can change this world overnight, that is not going to happen. And that is something that I have realized multiple times in these last 2 years. The reason why I'm saying this, because many a time I felt that I need to have a lot of influence on social media. I need to be able to complete a lot many book, but I failed. Certainly I thought to myself and I talked to myself that this is not something that I can do very quickly. I need to be patient, and
Correct.
I need to give some time to myself. And
Correct.
before even I think about creating a difference in this world, I believe that I need to create difference in myself.
Absolutely.
And that difference, I think I am a person in making. Nobody is perfect in this world, and I am like getting all the knowledge from all my mentors, and I'm learning from everyone, my peers, from my juniors, from seniors. And I think I am trying to create difference in my world. Of course I have plans, of course I have my purpose to create a difference in this world, but and I am doing it already. you know
Right.
even if I am creating a content, producing a content, I'm not being a consumer, I'm being a producer. and
Absolutely.
and and I'm sure there must be a lot of people who would be reading my content, watching my videos, and I'm sure they would be taking certain points, and it would be making some difference in their life, though I'm doing that already. But if I want to achieve the bigger purpose, if I want to really do it in a much organized way, of course I have to make some difference in myself. So I'm still doing, and I'm trying to create difference already, and hopefully I'll be able to establish myself as an authority.
Absolutely. 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 And all the very best for your upcoming journey as a superhero. And lastly, once again, thanks a lot for joining for this book review video. And I wish you all the best for your, upcoming journey, and whatever you are doing a great job, by your videos, by your content. You are inspiring, I think, thousands, and in future you are going to inspire millions of people. So all the best, buddy. And once again, thanks a lot for joining.
Thank you so much for your wishes. I think it means a lot, and a lot of it actually is an impact, and it is a result of the company of like-minded people like you. And I think I have learned a lot from you. So thank you so much for creating so much impact in my life, and I have always been kind of I've always admired about this fact that I've been associated with you. So this much of the impact is a result of the company that I live with, the people like you and a few other people in the company. So thank you so much for the impact that you are also making and inspiring millions of lives already. and because you have read this book, so it is, I'm sure it is going to reach to n numbers of people in the future as well. And I wish you also all the best.
Thank you.
And I always want that this book should always uh, be the on a number one ranking, and make the difference in people's life and make them superhero.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.